Interesting. So how do you see with all this knowledge and data being put on the blockchain? How do you see this can facilitate you obviously have investment background?
Sorry.
Oh, clear. So how do you see this blockchain information and help you with investment decisions?
Information on the blockchain. Well, on the financial side, first thing I can think of is, for like we can compare the traditional asset to a digital asset. The traditional asset was classified when the real money, the fiat, was combined with the bonded with the real stuff, like so. And then there was a central institution that proved that it was bonded, like so you could pay $100 for something. But then now digital asset, there's no intermediary, so meaning that there's no middle institution. So we see that like digital asset, if you want to make a purchase, then you can do that through a smart contract, and then there's that proves that the stuff is the material is $100 worth. So I mean for the so I get the question correctly.
There's no right or wrong in this sharing of your view with your professional insights, right? So okay, so we got the knowledge part, right? So now moving on to the capital, how do we combine? So we have a blockchain now with many companies starting to store the information on the blockchain and interact with it, right? And how does it impact the capital? Capital industry is obviously a long history, right, in the human economy. But how does it change, right? For example, recently as we see all these ICO activities happening, right? Last year alone, there were $3 billion being raised from the ICO market. And this year, although the market is down now, the crypto price, as we all know, we're all suffering, we're waiting, hoping to get better. But the ICO market this year so far have raised 17 billion. So it's not slowing down. People still raising a lot of capital, right? So altogether $20 billion. But this market seems still have a lot of problems. It seems it have a lot of potential, and it doesn't seem to slow down at all. It's still growing. So how do you see we can continue to grow and benefit from this new way of getting capital through the blockchain and tokenization in a more healthy environment?
So actually, that's one of our it's part of our mission statement at CRA3 when it comes to increasing capital flows, access to high quality data that enables decision makers to actually make quicker and more informed decisions. So, for example, if you're looking at a real estate deal, you need to know how much is this property worth and how much will it be worth 1, 3, or 5 years later. Sure, that building is put on the blockchain, but who's going to tell you that those exact data points? And so for us, because we are aggregating the data, using big data with machine learning, we can tell you those exact values. And so given our positioning of our company in regards to promoting transparency, we want to help not just the big investors, but also the little investors as well who may not have access to as much capital, but they still need access to that high quality data and appraisal and valuation data that we are creating with our algorithms and AI. So we do want to help increase capital flows in regards to real estate investments here in Korea by giving decision makers the right data that they need at a very reasonable price.
Yes, yes. As a venture capital, like when the ICO boom, like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, when it first came out, I'll be totally honest that venture capital, they were the most conservative institution. They saw the ICO project as, we saw the market. It was like, when this project comes up with a vision, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have any product, nothing. It's like one person team with the vision, and then it's like vision was so big. It's like kind of like IBM style, like this one big vision that one person saying he said he's gonna achieve it. But then we saw it as this must be a scam. But we saw a lot of money flowing into that company. So we could not understand the market, like market mechanism. How does that work? They're all gonna lose money. That's what we thought in the beginning. But then they made like 20 times their investment. Then, while their product was not even made, not even a minimum viable product was out. So, in the beginning we could not understand, but then, so we saw this paradigm as maybe we should think kind of like differently for the blockchain industry. But then we saw, as a VC, we saw like basically I can narrow it down to two big things. One of them was the exit. Traditional venture capitals, when they make an investment, the two big ways to withdraw the money was IPO and M&A. So basically it took on average like 5 to 10 years to withdraw the money once the investment was made. But then when we look at ICO projects, like people invest money and then they withdraw money in 3 months with the 10 times bigger. So we saw, the market is not like that anymore. Like it's, that was like one year ago or like 2 years ago. But then we still see the possibility that we could narrow down we could shorten the time of investment. It could be a solution for our concern. And the second thing is that as a VC, if we are based in Korea, so if we wanted to make an investment overseas, we have to know the country's regulation. Like, for example, we want to invest in China, then we have to know the law of China. We have to speak to the legal advisors in China, and we have to make an investment vehicle in China. China is the most complicated country to invest. But then now we look at ICO projects. People invest from anywhere to anywhere. So we could invest from Korea to US, China. Any projects in the world. So those two things were the best, most impressive things, factors that we are focusing on the blockchain. We could solve a lot of things in the current venture capital market.
Very interesting. So actually, it's a good way to get into that a little bit deeper with the VC, right? Because last year, I'm sure you all read from the news, there's always some message. Oh, how much money raised in the ICO? And it's more than the money raised from the VC, right? So it looks like from the last year, just that kind of market message.
Almost 3 times.
Almost like, oh, ICO market is competing with the VC. So I also work with a lot of VCs. It's very interesting to see now a lot of VCs is evolving themselves, actually taking advantage of ICO. So many VCs now, they become the seed money of ICO projects. Right? So they actually invest in projects and help them to do ICO. Because to them, a company they invest doing ICO might have some benefit, right? Than investing just a normal one one that I would love to hear you later. One that I could think of, it may be a quicker exit, right? So traditionally, a VC invests in a company may have to wait a few years to go IPO, right? And that's how they get the exit and make the money. But now, if a company just go ICO instead of IPO in just 6 months, right? And if a good company, they can trade, the token could be very liquid, and they can get a quicker return. And it's very interesting if you look at the data, for example, from CoinMarketCap, right? They have the top tokens. Some of those tokens, the market capitalization is much larger than a listed company. So it's a very interesting market. So how do you see this investment cycle in the tokens can maybe change or benefit your future business?
Well, actually, I'm really need to take a careful approach on the blockchain. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here or not because Korea regulations are not allowing crypto investments at the moment for the financial institutions. But yes, as I mentioned just now, that we see a lot of positive aspects of blockchain industry. But we got a lot of steps to take in order to vitalize this blockchain investment industry, I'll say. Because like there has been a lot of problems. Currently the market is kind of low. Like people invest and they lose a lot of money. But then for the emerging market, for blockchain as an emerging market, we believe that emerging market takes growth as a step, meaning that when a new technology come out, like there's a boom, right? Same as the internet, smartphone, cars, like back in the 1850s, same thing, but then now they face a problem, and then they face a failing, and then there's someone comes along with a solution, and then this technology goes up again, and then it faces another problem, and then somebody solves the problem, and then it goes again, so it takes a step of advancement. So I think blockchain is really currently immature market, like everyone else says it, and as a VC, we willing to contribute to the investment side, meaning like, we're gonna help the industry to filter out who's good or who's bad and who's lying, who's telling the truth. Like he mentioned before about the real estate investment valuation standard. We are trying to build a valuation standard for the ICO project investments. So if the valuation is correct or not, if the people are saying the right things or not. So we could help the environment. So we need more players like this to contribute into the market, so we can actually then the regulation is going to be open for the public and the investors, and people will have some trust in the market. So that's where we're going.
I just have one comment or question to add on to this whole blockchain and investment conversation. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering, like, we feel very lucky being here in Korea because data is very good here in Korea. And the reason why the data is great here is because the Korean government actually invests quite a bit of their annual budget into facilitating and fostering this open data culture, which is why companies like us are able to create value from that data. So I mean, given blockchain and investors, I mean, you know, the phrase money talks, right? I'm sure that expression can be used to maybe, you know, influence politicians to create this more open data culture, because for us, when we're looking at other markets, maybe in Thailand or, you know, Vietnam, their governments kind of close their data. But I'm wondering, is it possible for venture capital and, you know, some kind of money to convince these government higher-ups that, hey, look, there's money to be made here, and if you can actually, you know, open your data and start creating some open data initiative where private companies can create value from that data, is that possible? Is it possible to really make lawmakers and the government open up their data with money? That's what I'm really curious about.
So, yeah, that's a hard question. Well, I can't speak on behalf of the government, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna be easy for a government to open up the data, like, you know, with the money flow and everything, but then.
But what's interesting is if you look at the whole blockchain and cryptocurrency, right? They're actually moving wealth in different forms. It could be cash, asset, tokens, away from the traditional banking system and being stored in this thing called the blockchain, right? It could be Bitcoin, Ethereum, all kinds of tokens. If you think about it, those value is not on the database of banks. It's not even in the database of the government. It's decentralized, it's growing, right? So that separate system, which I think no government can actually control, but in certain way, of course, they can regulate activities within the countries. Right? But those blockchain exist on an international level. But if, of course, any activities within the country, they can still control, but not, even that will not be a fully control of the blockchain, right? Just within the country. So in here, I like to move on to something related and also very interesting. As we all know, the whole industry now, I will call it what happened last year is the first phase of cryptocurrencies, right? The ICO. So people in general, what happened last year is people come up with good idea of projects. They raise funds and they try to deliver a project in the future. Right? That's in general what happened. You see a lot of projects. And obviously, it seems that wave is almost finished, right? But what happened now is because of the internet and this world, the cycle is compressed. And now we actually see the second cycle is coming, which I would believe with a lot to do with the security tokens, asset-backed tokens, and so-called reverse ICO. What's that meaning is, it means the tokens and the ICO projects coming will have a lot of substance to back up. It could be asset-backed. It could be security tokens, properly regulated, with a very solid payback in terms of dividends, profit sharing, like actual payback. And also, what we call reverse ICO is referring to the ICO that is done not by the startup company, but by solid large corporation. If you think about it, ICO is not a privileges of startup company. Even listed company can come in and issue a tokens. And those are the company with existing customer, existing business, existing product. They don't have to raise the money to build the product until 2 years. right? So those companies, they just create token economics. They put the economics into a new tokens, right? So this is the way moving forward. So like the here wheel, how do you see this might happen and how it will shape?
So it's funny how you mentioned the first phase of ICOs, because I remember last year, November when I was meeting my family for the holidays, everybody was talking about, oh my God, there's this ICO, everybody's investing, I'm gonna invest late. And I would look at these ICOs online and it would be like 30 faces that I've probably never met before. And where's their product? Is there something working on their website? Probably not. They had a paper that they probably paid someone to write for them to make it make sense. And so I understand that was kind of the first phase of the whole ICO craze, and that the market's kind of cooled down. The market's kind of been like, okay, we need to be careful because some of those could potentially be scams. And now, like you mentioned, the whole reverse ICO, my impression of the reverse ICO is more or less what our startup is doing. We built our team, we incorporated our company, we raised an initial investment, and we're taking it kind of step by step. And I think that's the more safe approach from an investor standpoint, because you're actually building as you're going along, and you're not waiting to get the money and then you build whatever product you want to do. But from my perspective, I have a question to both of you. Our startup hasn't considered doing an ICO. We are just considering a traditional investment cycle. We raised 35 million Korean won a couple months ago, and with that money we've been able to build a prototype. Now that we have a prototype, we're looking to scale the prototype and actually scale for all of South Korea. And we have a certain amount that we're looking for, 1.5 billion Korean won. And not once have I considered doing an ICO. For a founder, what benefit or why should I even consider an ICO?
Well, actually, I'm not a big fan of reverse ICO. Actually, well, this whole ICO trend came out because of kind of gave an implication to the people that like an easy money raising process in the beginning, because traditional startups, they used to go to VC and then they used to do investor relations presentation, and then we're gonna do this, so we would like to raise some money. But then VC has to go through a lot of due diligence, and then they go through the company analysis, team analysis, a lot of process in between. But then it was really hard to get money, raise money from the VC. But then ICO came up, and then this, with a great idea, they could raise a lot of money. They don't have to go to VC. It was easy money, right, in the beginning. But then, yeah, there's where the problem came from, and then the reverse ICO concept, everything came. But then I don't think everything should be tokenized, but there are certain parts that need to be tokenized. Definitely, that could help the real estate, for example, could help, then.
Thank you. So the way I see it, I think actually the word ICO is misleading. Okay, it is used by the media is the term people usually understand. The way you see it, if you come to our website, the way we categorize this is token financing. Okay? So the way we see it is it's just a new way of corporate finance. Right? For those of you in the business sectors, you understand the traditional corporate finance, the debt financing, where you borrow money on a loan based on a balance sheet. The equity financing, companies issue shares, IPO, based on the P&L. right? The public liquidity. And now this new way of corporate finance is token financing. You issue a token based on what? Two things. If it is a utility token, it's based on your business economics in terms of customer numbers, usage of your products, your brands, many things that's not reflected in the P&L and the balance sheet. Those components are valuable, but the value is not being commercialized yet. And this is how the company can commercialize those values for utility tokens. But on the other hand, if they issue security tokens, it just becomes a form of financial instrument. It could be just a form of corporate bonds, but just in the form of tokens. It could be actually shares in the form of tokens. So I actually agree with a lot of the regulators. They need to regulate, especially this type of activities, because it is a security, right? So it's a complicated environment. So I think is also need a lot of education, right? I think what happened last year, many people invest in the ICO because of the trend, but many people don't realize when they invest in an ICO, a typical ICO, startup ICO, everybody become a VC, right? You think about it, this is crowdfunding, but for regular people, and how can they become a professional VC to make valuation of the company with a professional view? So this is a question for you actually, with all the AI work that you have done. Do you think that that's a way, if we look at a traditional investment model for the security, the stock, there are a lot of analysts writing reports, right? Whether Amazon is a good stock, and Apple and all that. We don't see as much of those activities, right? Of course, it's a lot, there's 2,000 tokens now. Is there an easy way you think you can leverage AI to have those kind of indications for investors looking at ICO?
That's a really good question. I notice we're running out of time, so I'm going to give my closing remark. If anybody wants to see our prototype and the work that we're doing or what data that's actually we're looking at, please come visit our booth. We're in the Juicing area. Please come visit us. I'm sorry I can't answer your question.
Okay. So, yes, I'm going to make a last remark. I mean, all of us, we are moving blockchain into a better market. So we are studying tokens. We spoke about security tokens, but then we're studying many different types of token and blockchain applications in many different industries. So in the future, in the meantime, there's going to be a technology development for different industries in different forms. So yeah, and we're going to be the pioneers in helping.
All right, thank you very much. I think our time is up.